Hey guys, how's it going? This is Magnachecks, and I just want to say happy belated New Year from TheBoobTube. And what better way to kick things off than to start off right? Yes, I'm fully aware that I should have made another review last month, which I said I was going to, but you know, things come up, you know? It happens sometimes, which I hope you all can understand. But I'm going to start this off right. I'm going to try to get at least 2 reviews out of the way every single month throughout the year of 2017. Scout's honor. Like this, right? I think so. Yeah. Anywho, I'm going to start things off right with a review that's been long overdue. That is, I am talking about Season 4 of Red vs. Hold on 1 second. Yes? Oh my god, Max Mofo, what are you doing here?
Daniels. It's the Cartoon Physicist.
Oh, really? Are you sure you're not related to him? I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. Anywho, what can I do for you on this lovely new year? I mean, I'm just starting a review here.
Well, for the better part of 2016, I've been reviewing a multitude of 2000 horror films for my channel. But there has been one horror film in particular that I need help reviewing.
Huh, really? Why is that?
Because this film is so dull, I can't get past the first 10 minutes without falling asleep.
Ah, what is with you internet critics and these crossovers every other month? And why does it always have to be me?
Because you're easier to get hold of than everyone else.
Oh, that's a good point. So, what do you want to review today?
This.
Oh, FearDotCom? Why? Wait a minute. How the hell did you do that?
With science. I'm a scientist. A scientist of the reviewerverse. Teleportation's child's play to me. Seriously, dude? You have an AI like me and a whole bunch of other reviewers out there, and this is what surprises you?
Huh, fair enough. Hey, can I get a Queensland healer from your country?
I'm feeling generous today.
Oh, awesome!
That'll be $1,000.
Yeah, right. I think we'd rather do the review instead. Be much cheaper, in fact. But I'm not really sure about this movie. I mean, mainstream films are not exactly in my wheelhouse.
That is true. But this movie does roll around the internet.
Alright, so you do have a point. So, what can you tell me about this flick?
So FearDotCom is the 2002 American horror flick in which the main plot details a New York City detective investigating a series of mysterious deaths that are connected to the most otherworldly, nightmarish realm of them all, the internet. The film was originally rated NC-17 due to extreme violence. Supposedly, I don't know how you can make a movie about internet ghost violence. After multiple trims and appeals, the film was finally re-rated R by the MPAA for violence including grisly images of torture, nudity, and language, because the non-existent children watching this film will be scared by the word fuck.
Multiple trims and multiple cuts. I think it didn't do very well at the box office.
Pretty much.
Who produced this movie?
Warner Brothers, but not the kind with the Warner sister.
Oh, well, that makes a whole lot of sense. Anywho, let's dig into this flick. This is FearDotCom. Our movie begins with a man who stumbles his way into the nearest subway while bleeding through the eyes and other orifices, but all the while notices the whitest girl ever playing with her ball. He chases after her onto the tracks in attempting to rescue her, but disappears. So, for some reason, he tries to hide, but then decides at the last possible second to run right in front of the train.
Dumb ways to die. We then cut to Terry Houston, who works for the Department of Health and doesn't bother checking her own apartment for dead things, and Detective Mike Riley, played by Stephen Dorff, otherwise known as the Troy McClure of Hollywood.
I'm Stephen Dorff.
You may remember me from such movies as Cry Yuma and Here Comes the Coast Guard.
Mike investigates the dead guy on the subway tracks, and after seeing blood come out of his eyes, he concludes he must be into computers all the time.
Oh, early 2000s Hollywood and your theories on computers. Watch too much, it'll make you feel bad.
Man, you're old.
Hey, I'm not that old. I just remember the good old days, you know? Meanwhile, back at the police department, some German goth kid is hauled in with blood coming out from the eyes and nose, so they investigate his apartment only to find a dead girl in the bathtub. After Mike and Terry make their introductions to one another, they head back to the police station to discover that the German teen from 5 minutes ago is lying dead on the floor.
The CDC with the biohazard suits come in to take the bodies away, believing that it's a biological disease. But turns out that it's not after a whopping 30 seconds.
Serum panels all clear. It's not a virus.
After some more deadpan acting with these two protagonists padding out the movie, we then cut to our stalker of the film, who not only walks up to his next victim taping her with a camcorder, but he asks her if she would come to his studio for a photo shoot. And despite all the red flags of him being some perverted sex offender, she buys into all of this just because he said she was the perfect leading lady. Have the writers actually met a woman before?
How far are we into this movie?
Exactly 16 minutes.
Well, I'm going to bed now. Nice knowing you. See ya.
Okay. Keep an eye out for anvils.
So Terry and Mike go over the German couple's camcorder from the crime scene as they notice the two of them beginning to act weird the moment they look up something on the internet.
Fuck this, I'm on Blog TV with my fucking hands up!
Afterwards, we get some shaky camera footage with this girl in the bathtub, and for some terrible jump cut reason, the girl from 5 minutes ago is shown again, following up on the job offer, I presume, as she walks into the unlocked door, makes her way through the dimly lit room, and go on, take a guess what happens next.
I can't believe you fell for the oldest trick in the book! What a goof!
Meanwhile, Terry's boss has been acting very strange as she notices his computer is missing and bleeding from the nose. He then begins to freak out as he sees the albino girl outside, and before he could drive away, the little ghost girl possesses his car. Because of course internet ghosts can possess non-computerized cars, locking him in and puts the pedal to the metal right into the wall.
Meanwhile, Dr. Creepy starts up his channel, where surprisingly he lost his previous subscriber count, but is now rapidly getting it back, and reveals to his victim that this is actually more of a podcast for learning and satisfying those sick fucks out there. Back at HQ, Mike gets tech junkie Denise to research the victim's computers to see what they have in common with one another. Turns out that they both visited the same website, FearDotCom, right before their deaths. Really now? Who names their site FearDotCom? You would think that it would be easy for a supernatural being to acquire a website that has only one word that can instantly kill people in 2 days.
You'd be surprised, a lot of demons are cheapskates.
So after clicking onto the website, Denise begins to see a series of disturbing images of people being tortured and trips out looking at crappy special effects. Afterwards, Mike and Terry meet up with the guy who wrote the book that belonged to the first dead guy, as he tells the two of them
It was a load of shit.
which makes everything else in here pointless. But the movie wanted to drag the conversation on even more.
Now, he came to believe that the web could actually receive energy, store it, and send it out.
Energy? What kind?
Psychic energy, stealing your soul.
Your soul is mine.
And they conclude that if anyone goes onto this website within 48 hours, they will die.
Huh. That's almost like dying 7 days after watching a VHS tape.
Ah, I sense a great amount of sarcasm within you, my child.
Back at Denise's place, we see her going full-on mental as she chants to herself and writes her entire room in binary. Binary doesn't mean anything, it's just supposed to act as protection against the ghost of Windows Vista. Even though the binary code was created with a different purpose in mind and before the ghost became part of the internet. It was even invented before the internet. It wouldn't work as the digital equivalent of an elder sign against an outer god. It just wants to let the audience know how ridiculously crazy she is. And like any cliche horror movie, as soon as Mike and Terry rush on over to help her, Denise jumps out of her apartment due to the overwhelming amount of fake CG cockroaches.
So, being the clever detective that he is, Mike decides to go onto the website to see what the hubbub is all about. It turns out that the ghost wants to play a game with Mike to see if he could find her within 48 hours. He accepts and then watches a series of random footages that are not a cheap copy-paste versions of The Ring in any way whatsoever.
Far better movie I could be watching right about now.
Indeed.
After logging onto the website, Mike begins to trip out and hallucinate various things until a couple of cheap jump scares forces him to be paranoid. Terry finds Mike laid back at his place and, with no explanation whatsoever, discovers what the ghost girl's real name is and figures out her spiritual form exists within the wires of the internet.
Don't go there! Promise me you won't go there!
Yes, I am certain Terry will listen to Meg the same way he listened to her. Oh, wait a minute.
So yeah, Terry immediately logs into FearDotCom and talks to the ghost for a bit and downloads the 48-hour virus into her brain, thus knocking her out and waking up the next morning. You know, for a ghost who kills her victims after 2 days, she certainly dicks with her time a lot after knocking them out every other chance that she gets. So the next day, Terry looks up one of the victims, Janine Richards, at the police station, and then we cut to the good doctor seeing his subscriber count go up again. Terry goes to Janine's mother's house for the backstory on her, finding out that she was a hemophiliac and likes to play at the abandoned steel mill, because that's what all sickly stricken kids like to do. Which gives Terry a reason to go to the mill as the homeless lady points over to Janine's dead body. Great, she found her, movie's over, curse is gone.
Hello?
Hello, Terry. Are you ready to play?
Did you really think the movie was going to end this early?
But it's been well over an hour. I mean, what was the whole point of the steel mill scene?
Padding. The writers didn't have the brain capacity to write anything else. It turns out that finding her body wasn't the answer, as Janine haunts Terry a little bit more, and after a quick autopsy, it's revealed that Janine swallowed a note which contains the address to the doctor's apartment, making her the world's first human fortune cookie. A quick look around inside his place also reveals the location of his hideout, where he tortures his victims to death. Mike calls his partner Sykes for backup, locates the abandoned power plant, and confronts the doctor for the third act to wrap up this movie. But it would appear that the doc has a trick up his sleeve.
I don't want to spoil things for you, but if you're expecting the cavalry to show up and save the day, you're going to be disappointed. The cavalry's right there.
Oh my god! That's right. He somehow manages to kill Sykes, string him up, and still savor his victim before Mike and Terry make their way over, even though he's been taking forever to kill his previous victim. Relax, the real Jeffrey Combs is alive and probably at a convention right now. Suck it up, you still have a chance.
What the hell was that?
Let's just say it's my AI's pet and move on.
Whatever you say, Crash Bandicoot. Let's just get on with the shooting already. right, Mike and Alistair shoot each other despite the doc saying just a minute ago,
Guns are so impersonal and artless.
As Alistair straps Terry up, Mike logs onto FearDotCom for Janine to exact her revenge by teleporting him into the web and does ghost stuff to him. Mike dies, boo-hoo, the curse is over, and the next day, for no apparent reason, Terry receives a phone call.
Hello?
Can't wait to report your death.
And thus concludes Fear.com. And now that we got that out of the way, why don't you be the first to pick this apart, Fizz?
Gladly. Guys, it's pretty obvious this movie sucks. It's beat for beat trying to be like The Ring and Ringu while also trying to capture the time sphere of the internet. Which clearly didn't work since fear of the internet is already an idiotic concept all on its own. I'm not talking about grounded fears regarding the internet like fear of stalkers. I'm talking about the fear of the strange and unknown aspects of the internet because it's new and it'll steal our souls if we don't avoid it and keep things the way they are and blah blah blah. You know what I mean, the kind of thing old people say about the internet even though they would completely enjoy it if it was around when they were young. The writers likely feel the same way since their ignorance about the internet led to an ignorant portrayal of the internet and a mind-numbing experience. You can't exactly scare us when the specific horror in the horror film is so common yet hasn't been fully researched, especially when it's a site made with frickin' Flash. Plus, internet horror films in general are never going to be scary. VHS-based horror films can be scary due to things like the urban myth of the snuff film and because there's a singular unshared item that a ghost can haunt. Gravity Falls kinda got this when they did their take of this horror concept using a physical CD rather than a shared, not so physical thing like the internet. The internet, on the other hand, it's hard to take a ghost seriously when it comes from the same place as Neon Cat. This film gets an F. Not even Jeffrey Combs could save it.
Well, after its initial release, it is no surprise to anyone out there that not only did it receive such a poor critical reception from critics, but it did horribly at the box office. With a current 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, 16% on Metacritic, based on 20 reviews indicating an overwhelming dislike and a lack of originality with a plot that is too derivative of Ringu. Never have I ever watched a horror flick where I would be both completely bored and angry at the same time. There are just so many things wrong with this flick, from the multitude of plot holes to the god-awful acting from everyone in here not giving a shit, and the cheap-ass special effects in which the guys in post-production must have realized how shitty it was, but decided to go with it as they realized that they just needed a quick paycheck at the end of the day. Much like the actual website itself, it is a huge disappointment to everyone who was involved in this. They could have done something that was probably original and decent, but decided to push it out the door as quick as they can to compete with the Ring horror movie. I would have to go so far as to say that this is without a doubt my top 50 bottom worst movies of all time, and that is all thanks to you.
I try.
Can it? And because of that, I have to give this movie a 0 out of 5.
Well, you're happy now that you got that review out of the way? It's almost like crossing off something off a New Year's resolution list.
Just wait until I come onto your show. I got something for you to review.
What's that? I can't hear you. Our call is breaking up. The teleportation button thingy must have interfered with the signal. Bye.
Oh, those crazy Aussies, always making excuses. Oh. Hi. Thank you guys for watching, and I got much more to come. I'll see you all next time on the BoobTube. Well, that took you long enough. You know you could use the front door.
Does that mean you will work for me?
What do you think? For about 2 years now, you've been harassing me by sending demonic goons, possessed energy drinks, and Grumpy Cat after me. And you think I'm going to cooperate with the likes of you by making drag videos on other YouTubers? Who do you think I am?
Someone who is willing to get themselves noticed in this crazy viral realm.
How do you...
Patience. And a little research. You see, I have been around since before the creation of the internet. And since that time, I have been able to collect files on top of files of every internet star in this world. You would be surprised the secrets that they keep.
So that's what Locke found in your home. Boxes of your life's work. Why?
That is a question for another time, assuming that you will live to see next month.
Well, go ahead and kill me already, because I am so sick and tired of this bullshit, and I'd rather die than make exposed videos for cheap views.
Oh, I'm not going to kill you at all, but you are going to wish I did, what with you killing their youngest prince from the Cringe Serpent Society and all.
Whoa, hey, you were the one who telepathically snapped his neck, alright? You just so happened to take the opportunity to pin it on me, because they're stupid enough to believe you.
Nevertheless, you were able to stop one of them. But can you take down a few thousand with just your custom gear and diamond sword?
Shit.
That's what I thought. Oh, and there's also this. Super Academy. The writer who sits in the back. Bounty Plus. And your newest guest, the only right Cartoon Physicist. If these ever were to get out onto your channel, how long do you think your reputation will last?
Fuck. Alright, you win. I'll do what you say.
Ha ha ha. Splendid. Oh, chin up, do chin up. After all, this is a grand opportunity for you to be at my side. After all, 2017 will be a phenomenal year for you. And I got a feeling that you and I are going to get along just fine.
Oh, yeah, that kind of sticks a little bit. You gotta twist it, you know? Just twist it, push up on it, like that. Yeah. There you go. Alright, you're good.
I'll see you soon.